As the Vatican prepares to celebrate Christmas, Pope Francis makes a promise. He vows the Catholic Church will never again cover up clergy sex abuse.
Dobbiamo giudicare il passato con l'ermeneutica del passato.
The Holy Father dedicated his annual Christmas speech to Vatican officials to the abuse crisis. The scandal has shaken his papacy and caused a crisis of confidence in Catholic leadership. Edward Pentin, Rome correspondent for EWTN's National Catholic Register, joins us. Edward, this was quite an extraordinary speech. What was the Pope's message?
Yes, it was a very strong message, Wyatt. He talks about, he really asks abusive priests to turn themselves in. He says, convert and hand yourselves over to human justice and prepare for divine justice. So very strong words there from the Pope. But he also says that they are vicious wolves, as he puts it, who prey on the innocent. But he also acknowledges the problems in the Church in terms of acknowledging this crisis and actually dealing with it responsibly and seriously. But at the same time, he also calls on victims to come forward, and he thanks the media as well for shining a light on this and bringing these scandals to public attention.
Well, the Pope has convened bishop leaders from around the world in Rome in February to address the sex abuse crisis. What did the Pope say about that meeting?
Well, he basically says that the conference is going to restate the Church's commitment to eliminating this scourge. But he also says not just for the Church, but also for the world. He says he wants this conference to draw on what the Church has learned in dealing with this crisis and to share it with the world, and so that the world can also deal with this scourge that affects not just the Church, but society in general.
So, Edward, then what do you think the speech tells us about the Pope's overall priorities and concerns?
Well, I think he talks about other things in the speech, where he also talks about persecuted Christians, the plight of persecuted Christians, the plight of migrants, victims of violence, and the poor. But clearly the sexual abuse crisis is really of great concern to him. It takes up most of this speech. And as many viewers will know, it's a very big crisis this year. And so he focuses on that in this speech. But I think many people will be wanting to see how whether actions are actually followed up. And these aren't just words. Whether there is zero tolerance, whether the cover-ups are properly dealt with, and whether the issue of homosexuality is also tackled. And I think people will be wanting to see whether these are actions that are following up on the words in the coming year.
And we'll be carefully watching to see what actions the Pope takes in the new year. Edward Pentin, Rome correspondent for EWTN's National Catholic Register. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Watt.